moving forward, now we want to have a test for a magnet. Means we are given a certain material, but we are not told whether the given material is a magnet or it is a magnetic substance. So we want to find out whether it is a magnet or a magnetic substance. In order to do this, what we do, we bring a small piece of iron close to it. If there is an attraction, then we may say that that given piece of material is a magnet. But if attraction is taking place, this property of attraction doesn't make us 100% sure that the material given to us is a magnet. Reason, if the given material is a magnet, then it will be able to show the property of the attraction. But a surer test that will make us 100% sure that material is a magnet is to use the property of the repulsion, not the property of attraction. So for that, what we do, we bring close to that particular material to a magnet. First, we bring one pole of a magnet towards the one particular end of the given material, and we observe whether they are attracting or repelling each other. Suppose they tend to attract each other. Now we reverse the pole of the magnet and we bring close it to the same end of the metal. If in this case it is showing a repulsion, this makes us sure that the material given to us is not a magnetic substance, but it is a magnet itself. Reason, when two magnets are brought close to each other, if their opposite poles come close, they show the attraction. But if their same poles come close together, then they will show the repulsion. So repulsion is a surer test for magnetism, with the help of which we can definitely prove that whether the material given to us is a magnet or a magnetic material. Now we come to the magnetic field. Magnetic field, we know that if an iron nail or a paper pin is brought close to a magnet, even if the two are not touching each other, the magnet is able to attract the iron nail or the paper clip at slight distance away from it. This means that magnet has its attractive power spread around itself with, and if any magnetic material like iron nail or paper clip comes inside that particular region in which it has its attractive power, then the magnet is able to attract those magnetic substances. So this region or the space which is existing around a magnet in which it is able to attract magnetic materials toward itself, we call that region or space as a magnetic field. The shape of the magnetic field around the magnet can easily be known with the help of a simple activity in which on a sheet of paper we will place iron filings so that they are uniformly distributed or spread on the paper, and then we place a bar magnet over it. Gently tap the paper, you will see that iron filings will arrange themselves in a particular order. The shape in which the iron filings they will arrange themselves, it will be the shape of the magnetic field which is existing around the magnet. So iron filings will arrange themselves in this particular shape as you can see on the screen. So this is the shape of the magnetic field around the magnet. Now we come to the other property, that is magnetic induction. We know that only two magnets they can attract each other when their opposite poles come together, and they show repulsion when their same poles come together. So if this is true, that when two opposite poles of a magnet they come close together, then they show the property of attraction. Then how it is possible that when a magnet is brought close to iron nail or a paper clip, which is not a magnet but only a magnetic material, then how the two are able to attract each other? How the magnet is able to attract the paper clip or iron nail if iron nail or paper clip is not a magnet? The answer to this is an important property which is known as the magnetic induction. Magnetic induction is the property of a magnet with the help of which a magnet is able to develop an opposite pole on a magnetic substance when it is brought close to it. So, here you can see that we have placed iron nail close to the north pole of a bar magnet in the first figure. So if a magnet is able to attract the iron nail toward itself, this is because of the property of magnetic induction. So what happens in a magnetic induction? That when one end of the iron nail gets too much close to the north pole of the bar magnet, then due to the magnetic power of the bar magnet, the north pole of the bar magnet is able to develop an opposite magnetic south pole near that end of the nail which is quite close to it, whereas the same pole is able to develop at the end of the nail which is quite a distance away from it. So in this case you can see that a temporary south and north pole are created on the iron nail. These temporary south and north pole created on the iron nail, they also make this iron nail as a temporary magnet. So in this case, the north pole of the magnet and the south pole of the iron nail, because they are very close to each other, so they get attracted towards each other. In the second figure, the same end of the iron nail is now brought close to the south end of the bar magnet. In this case, the south end of the bar magnet will be able to develop north pole at the nearer end of the iron nail while south pole at the farther end. So in this case again the two opposite poles of bar magnet, its south pole and north pole of the iron nail, they are present close to each other, so they get attracted toward each other. So in this way, whenever any iron material or a magnetic material is brought close to a magnet, its any pole, an opposite pole is formed on the nearer end and the same type of pole is formed on the farther end, because two opposite poles are very close to each other, so they show the property of attraction. But in this case, these poles formed on the magnetic material, for example iron nail, in this case they are very temporary in nature. So as soon as the iron nail moves out of the magnetic field region of the bar magnet, these poles disappear, because of which when an iron nail becomes too much away from the bar magnet is not able to attract it. Reason? It is not able to induce or develop these south and the north pole on the iron nail, because of which attraction is not possible. So from here we develop an important property, that induction precedes attraction. That means induction comes before attraction. So whenever a magnetic material is brought close to a magnet, first magnet with the property of induction makes other magnetic material a temporary magnet, after which the attraction takes place, which is already temporary in nature. But it is not like that. With the help of magnetic induction, we can only make magnetic materials temporary magnets, but they can also be made permanent magnets. So in order to produce a permanent magnet with the help of induction process, what we can do, we have to rub a magnetic material with the help of one pole of a bar magnet in a particular direction many times till it become the magnet. Here in this animation you can see that an iron needle is continuously rubbed in one direction or stroked in one direction only by the north pole of the magnet. So north pole of the magnet starts rubbing the needle from the left side, it moves towards the right side, and then we pick it up, and then we repeat the procedure again and again. So if this thing is done multiple time, then iron needle will become also a permanent magnet. In this case, iron needle will also acquire the property of the magnets. Now we are discussing about electromagnets. Magnets are not only naturally occurring, but they can be prepared artificially and with the help of electric current also. So when we use our motors, for example in the fan, in motor used in the mixie, motor used in the refrigerator, motor used in the CD or the DVD player, they all are actually electromagnets. That is, when electric current is passed through them, they produce magnetic field which help the motor to move. So this type of device which produces magnetic field or becomes magnet by passing current through it, we call it as a electromagnet. You can make your own electromagnet. What we have to do, we will simply take an iron nail about 4-5 centimeter long. On that iron nail, wind a copper wire, just like a thread is winded on the screw. After that, connect the two ends of the wire to a dry cell. As soon as the two ends of the wire are connected to the positive and negative terminal of the dry cell, current will pass through the wire, through the winding, and it will make iron nail a magnet. Its one end will become north pole, other end will become the south pole. In order to test whether it has become a magnet, gently bring a small paper clip, magnetic substance, paper clip close to its one end. If it sticks to the iron nail, that means it has become an electromagnet. But as soon as you switch off the circuit, that means as soon as you will remove the connection of the wire from the cell, current will stop flowing and it will lose its magnetism. So this magnetism which is arising in the iron nail, it is due to the current flowing inside the circuit. So this type of magnet which we develop by the help of electric current, we call it as the electromagnet. The wire which is winded around the nail, we call it as the coil, while the iron nail itself is called as the core of electromagnet. We tend to make the core of this electromagnet with the help of iron piece only. Reason? One thing, it does not retain its magnetism when current is switched off. That means as soon as the current is switched off, it loses its magnetism instantaneously. Second thing, iron becomes magnetized even under the effect of very small magnetic fields. So a electromagnet is a temporary magnet which switches itself when the current is also switched off. But if you pass current, a stronger current through the coil, it will also produce a stronger magnetic field. These type of electromagnets are used to produce permanent magnets which are used for many practical purposes. Then there are permanent and temporary magnets. A magnet which is able to retain its magnetic power for a long time, we call it as a permanent magnet. The one which loses its magnetic power only till it is present in a magnetic field, but when it is taken out, it loses its magnetic power, we call it as a temporary magnet. Magnets are widely used in our day-to-day life. For example, they are used as the magnetic catches in the cupboards, drawers, or the windows. They are used as the clasps of the necklace, bracelets, handbags. A magnetic strip around the door of a refrigerator help it to shut itself firmly. The attractive property of the magnet is also used to separate magnetic materials from the non-magnetic materials. This type of technique we call as the magnetic separation, and it is used in the scrap yards to separate out magnetic materials from the other wastes. Motors, generators, loudspeakers, guitars, and many other instruments, measuring instruments, they make use of the permanent magnets. Magnetic strips are present on the back of the ATM cards or credit cards, which store important information about the card, about the bank account, etc. The directional property of the magnet is used in the compass, which is used to find the directions. Electromagnets. Electromagnets are widely used in the doorbells. A doorbell contains an iron hammer, small iron hammer, which is connected to electromagnet. When we switch on the current, electromagnet gets activated. It attracts the iron hammer towards itself, due to which the gong attached to it, its hammer attached to the strip, strikes the gong and sound is produced. Cranes which used to pick heavy load, they are also having electromagnets inside them. Electromagnets are used to separate magnetic ores from non-magnetic material. They are used in the motors of fans, mixers, washing machines, etc. Electromagnets are now these days used in the magnetic levitation trains, in which trains are running on the railway tracks, which are made up of the powerful magnets. As soon as the current is switched on, the two magnets get activated. One is present on the rail track, another is present at the bottom of the train. A strong repulsion takes place between the two, due to which the whole train rises by a small amount above the magnetic railway track, and it is floating on it in the air, and then this train moves in the forward direction. So these type of train, they work using the magnetic levitation technique. When we place a magnet, a permanent magnet, it doesn't remain permanent for long time interval. Even a permanent magnet loses its magnetic power with the time. So in order to keep the magnetic power for a permanent magnet for a long time interval, we attach certain magnetic materials with the poles of the magnets, which are known as the magnetic keepers. These magnetic keepers, they are attached with the bar magnets or the horseshoe magnets, so that they are able to retain their magnetic power for a long interval of time. So for doing this, the magnetic keeper is nothing but it is a small piece of iron, soft iron. It is placed in contact with the two poles of two bar magnets, such that one end of the iron piece touches the north pole of one magnet, while it touches the south end of the second magnet. So in this way, it is able to prevent the loss of the magnetic power. In case of horseshoe magnet, a single iron piece is able to retain the magnetic power, but in case of a bar magnets, we have to use two iron keepers for the two bar magnets. In the directional property, at last, We have seen that a suspended bar magnet always points towards a particular direction. A direction in which its north pole is pointing, we call it as the geographical north. The direction in which its south pole is pointing, we call it as the geographical south direction. A magnet is pointing in this particular direction because this magnet, suspended magnet, is actually working in the presence of a strong magnetic field existing around the earth, which is called as the earth's magnetic field. This earth's magnetic field, we may think of that it arises due to a large size bar magnet present at the center of the earth, which produces so much strong magnetic field that under the effect of this magnetic field, our suspended bar magnet always points along the geographical north, geographical south direction. This magnetic field produced by the earth, it is stretching up to tens and thousands of kilometers into the space. It reaches up to a region which is known as the magnetosphere. This magnetic field is very important for us because this magnetic field is responsible for the safety of every kind of living thing present on or below the surface of the earth, because it prevents harmful radiations coming from the sun called solar wind and other stars reaching to the surface of earth. Otherwise, no kind of life would have been possible on the earth. When these radiations from the sun, which contains high energy charged particles, they come and strike the earth's magnetic field, then at the north and the south pole, specially beautiful colorful lights are produced. At the north pole, they are called as the northern lights or aurora borealis in the Arctic region, or in the south pole they are called as the southern lights or the aurora australis in the Antarctic region. So here in this screen you can see that beautiful colorful lights are produced only at the north and the south pole, because here the radiations coming from the sun or from the other stars, they are somehow able to reach in the atmosphere. When these radiations they interact with the gases present in the atmosphere, they give rise to these pleasing view colorful lights called aurora borealis or aurora australis. Thank you.